Okay, day 9. Keeping this going. I had to sneak away today. We've had a pretty chaotic day, and just doing just two things with two kids is in one day is like a large task. So even just getting my haircut and seeing my dad and sister for dinner is like a whole bunch of stuff to do. But I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, a little burnt out. I think I was thinking about this. I think weekends are more chaotic than weekdays for me right now, as with a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old. I think it's just they have a lot of needs, and I don't. It just reminds me of how lucky I am to be able to pay for daycare and everything that really helps them to grow, because it's a lot. It's a lot for any one person, and I really don't know how people handle it, homeschooling or supporting their kids from home. But anyways, so day 9, I started this new tracker here. It's I got to learn how to do this. Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think this is gonna help me. I think the whole point is to have it be very visual when I'm doing my thing, when I'm getting all my streaks, keeping my streaks alive. And I gotta be real sad and upset when it's red, and have it be annoying and awful and embarrassing. If I show these to you every day, I will be very embarrassed if I miss a day. Even if I do the bare minimum to get through it that day, I'm gonna just have to do that. And I think this will be really helpful. Like, I really didn't want to post on Facebook yesterday. Like, it was like 10 p.m. I really didn't feel like doing it. It was just like, and it's not even working. That's the hard part. It's like, it makes me want to quit even more because it's not working. No one's reading any of my things, and half my posts are getting taken down because I don't think I understand the rules yet. Not that I'm like posting things that are obnoxious, but I think these just admins have more rules than I understand. And so it's just a process of learning. And I would have gotten frustrated and quit by now if I didn't have this to keep me accountable. So once again, thank you. Once again, keeping me organized and pushing forward. But I already did my stuff for today, except for this, because I knew it was going to be a busy day. But like I said, the fact that my kids kind of beat the crap out of me over the weekend, and and the week is kind of like a break. Like when I was starting off working, and I was like in my 20s, and I heard other people like in their 30s and 40s say that, or I didn't say it, but I could tell that, and I was making an assumption, right? I'm making assumptions that they would rather be at work than at home. That scared the crap out of me, that was a possibility in life, that's how some people responded to their decisions. Like they made decisions to create the life that they had. Maybe they don't fully understand the decision as they're making it, with kids and everything, but, and who does, right? Who knows exactly what kids are going to be like, but I like promised myself I would not create a life that I was afraid of. And I think that it's hard to know. I mean, we have 2 kids and my wife wants more, and I'm sure we're going to head in that direction. But it's a lot, and I'll be honest, the weekdays are more organized because I have more support. And I don't think it's a reflection on me. I think it's easy to like say that there's something wrong with me because of that, but to feel overwhelmed when I'm the primary caregiver, or primary and secondary caregiver with my wife, like, I think it's just a feeling I'm having. I don't think it's something I need to I think it's something to notice and point at and say, is this a problem? But I don't think it's necessarily automatically a problem. I don't know if this makes total sense, but I was kind of thinking about this. I feel like as humans, we kind of organize our lives to be this, like, it's kind of a weird thing. It's like, I feel like we organize our day so that, like, I'd say like 80% of it, 85% of it is spent working and stressed out and having anxious moments like at work, and where we're being watched and have to think very thoroughly. And as humans, we could have organized our days to be anything. Like I keep saying, we are Neanderthals that just kind of decided to not stop pretending, stop being that. And we've created days where, you get up in the morning, you go to work for 8 hours, you come home for, 3, 4 maybe, you sleep, and then you wake up and do it again. So I'd say there's like in an average day, there's 75% 80 uptime and, 25% downtime, and then not accounting for sleep. And if you think of our weeks, it's kind of that way too. We're Monday through Friday and then Saturday, Sunday. So it's like 75-80% of the week we are busy, organized, accountable, and then we want that 15 or 20% at the end to have fun and be disorganized. And I would say our lives are kind of structured that way. Like the average person gets like 4 weeks off of vacation out of a 52-week month, or I'm sorry, 52-week year, 4 weeks off plus some holiday breaks and stuff. Like that's 5 or 6 weeks out of 52 weeks. That's our 15-20% once again. I feel like, and even like how Christmas break is structured, where really once Thanksgiving hits, I feel like a lot of people check out until a week or two into the new year, and that's like another 15-20% of the year that we kind of just associate with less productivity. And taking it even further, like we work hard for our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and then we think that the last 15-20% of our life should be spent relaxing. And so I don't know if there's any value in that, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that as humans, as Neanderthals, we could have organized our lives or days or months or years to be any way. And I'm sure it's some sort of like solar system, lunar solar thing, we're all kind of following the sun. But right now I'm feeling disorganized. I'm feeling overwhelmed that I can't accomplish the tasks that I'm setting forth on myself. I've been spending a lot of time learning about how to build UI for our maps for our property company, and it's hard. It's not easy. It's not simple. And I'm not feeling very confident right now with that part, and I need to figure it out, and there's not a really good tutorial and thing out there. I mean, I know that means it's an opportunity that if something's really hard for me to do, that means it's really hard for everyone else to do, and that's an opportunity for me to separate myself from the pack and build something that no one's built before. But it's hard. It's hard. I mean, the reason why it's not built before is because it's hard. I mean, it's never gonna. You have to solve hard problems in order to be valuable, So I'm going to keep this short and sweet today because I got to go put the kids to bed, and it's been a chaotic day, and I'm not feeling very smart right now. I'm not feeling very organized and helpful and valuable. But, tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's another day to keep working, but I keep my streaks alive, right? The days that don't feel the best, what do? You love those streaks. That's all you think about. That's all you, and I was talking to my wife about this. It's like the streak is the thing, at the end of the day. Like a lot of things I'm doing, I think aren't really valuable right now, but that's where the value is. It's just hold on to that. And I got to make it more visual. I think this is like version 1. I'm sure I'm going to make this like 1,000 times. And I could put like 100 more things up here that I do every day, like the dishes and the laundry. And I don't know. I got to think about that, if that's worthwhile to keep track of or not. I don't know. I think maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I think that's part of this process of trying things out. I think that's all I got today. Not super valuable, not super important, not super interesting today. That's okay. I'll try again. We'll keep pushing, and I think I'm also going to start doing more show prep. I mean, I think yesterday's. I think if you can listen to, I believe it's day 8. If you can go back to day 8, I think that was a great one. And I'm going to try to review that one and slice it up and see if there's a better way to organize all of these to mimic more of that. I just felt like I had a lot of bullet points, a lot of thoughts that kind of all organized together. And as Jerry Seinfeld would say at the charm bracelet, I feel like I created a good charm bracelet for an argument.
Okay, I found this on the web for as Jerry Seinfeld would say at the charm bracelet.
I gotta turn that off. I think that's where value comes from. I feel a little. I don't feel like organizing my thoughts to the point where they're this like perfect thing, and wrapped up in a bow is the point of this. I was talking to my wife about this. That's what I was going to talk about. It's like, I feel like every show and everything out there, every version of every show, every TV show, movie, whatever, podcast, every episode of everything is so wrapped up in a bow and so perfect. And I think that's good because you need it to be entertaining and to be interesting and to make sense. But I think there's some opportunity out there for what I'm doing, which is being disorganized on purpose, like being raw and real and not making sense sometimes, and not just artificially cutting it back up to make sense. I feel like the whole point is that like everything's so polished and nice that I'm maybe I'm making no sense, and that's the only way to be entertaining. That's the only way people will care. But especially like how AI is taking us, I feel like everything is going to be so automatic and automated, and we're gonna cut. Like I feel like every story, you know the beginning, you know the middle, you know the end, but they definitely skip through the middle. I feel like I'm trying to really tell the middle of the story because I feel like that's the part that gets glossed over, and I feel like that's the part that is the hardest. You know, that's the part that everyone's stuck in, but no one. But when they look for help or look for what to do, everyone gives them the beginning and then the end. And that's how they market, that's how they sell, that's how they promote, that's how they mentor. I started there too, and look at me now. And I just really think that there's a lot of value in what happened in between there though. What were some of the ups and downs? Like I can understand how somebody would want to watch or listen to every single moment of every single day that I have. That's not the point of this. You know, I don't need someone to like worship me. It's more like if I put out 365 episodes of this thing, how many were good? How many were bad? How many were like upsetting? How many were I was excited? How many were I was down? Like, I just feel like my wife and I never agree on music, and it's partly because she doesn't understand my music. I'm sure she would say something else, but that's my opinion. And I think this is everybody. I think all humans like music when it reminds them of something, a time that they had, good or bad. It's a feeling they had. If it's happy music, they remember a time when they were happy, and they probably like the happy music if they were happy when it came out. And if they like sad music, it probably was at a sad time in their life and they're reflecting on that time or remembering that time, or they're going through a time right now. I listen to a lot of sad music or a lot of angry music, and it's not like screamo angry. It's just like grungy. It's teenage year stuff. And my wife listens to a lot of like EDM and like more poppy, a little bit of rap and things like that. And she can't comprehend why anyone would ever listen to songs that are kind of sad or upsetting. That music is supposed to be a happy thing and remind us of happy times. And how can you enjoy listening to sad music? And ironically, like Earth is on my side on this. If you actually Google it, more people listen to sad music than happy music in their downtime and their alone time. And I like to believe it's because it reminds me that somebody else went through that feeling that I felt too. That I feel connected to the artist in that way. That whatever I'm feeling, even if what I'm feeling doesn't even really make sense in the context of the song. Because if I'm being honest, I know a lot of lyrics. I don't think I know the point of a lot of songs. I think if I read the lyrics of every song that I like, it would be totally different meanings than what I want it to be. And I think Dave Grohl has a really good quote on this. He's like, if there's 10,000 people watching me play a song, there is 10,000 different versions of that song in their head or meanings behind that song, and they're all right. It doesn't really matter. And the more verbatim the song is, the more translucent the song is, the less people like it, because they can't identify with it in their own personal way. And I think that's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm trying to bring it back to this thing, is I'm trying to explain the middle part. And I feel like this is what songs are written about. Songs aren't written about the beginning of, maybe a little bit of a story. Songs aren't really written about the end of a story. They're kind of just, they're written about a time that you had today, something that happened today. So I mean songs that aren't like manufactured in a think tank by a group of people that work for a pop artist that needs to put out a new single every 5 minutes, or else they quit, or else they lose at life. I think of people that are really sitting down, and those might be all we have with AI. I don't know. It's going to be interesting how it all, comes forward, But when I think of somebody alone picking a guitar, trying to figure out what's important in their life, or what's important about their day, or how to explain their feelings, and I listened to a lot of music the last few days because I was working on all that census data. And when I'm on autopilot, I can listen to songs because I'm just working on Excel spreadsheets or whatever. And it's interesting. The best songs that I like seem to use words to describe feelings in creative ways. They find ways to describe emotional things. So they say something like clenched fists, which means I'm mad. But they don't say I'm mad. They say clenched fists. And your brain goes, oh, I think that means he's mad. And, I was mad before. But if they said I'm mad, you'd say this is a stupid song. It doesn't make any sense. So, it's not creative. It's not interesting. So it's finding creative and new ways to describe intricate feelings and intricate details about those feelings that make you feel like it's about you in some form. And maybe this isn't tying all together, but I'm trying to tie it back to this. I'm trying to explain what I'm going through every day and try to find creative ways to pick apart how I'm feeling and describe my reality, and creative ways to solve it all at the same time today, in real life, in real time. And I'm sure there's like a going back and learning and listening from it, and I'm sure this is a beginning of the story kind of mentality too, where I'm new and I don't know anything, and I haven't taken any classes on how to make a good podcast or whatever. But I think the point is just keeping the streak alive and letting it be real. And I don't know, maybe that gets me somewhere. Maybe that helps somebody somewhere eventually. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe this will be a dumb idea. And maybe I'll need to like I said before, I was like put on this whole persona and be so happy and smiley and everything, and be this really charming person and persona that people will find to be that reluctant hero that people need. Maybe that's what people actually need to see, to feel like it's valuable and it's worth listening to. Whatever, if that's what they need, maybe I'll be that person. I don't know if I'll be that person, but it's hard, right? I want to help people, but I don't want to be fake. I want to help them by explaining that today's problems are real, today's feelings are real, that skipping the middle part of the story isn't a good song, isn't a good story, isn't the true story. It's all just kind of glossing over what is actually happening, which is the hard part. you know, the struggle in every story is 3/4 of the way into it before they overcome that obstacle, and then they have the happy ending. And I think that's a great message for children, to keep pushing and everything's okay. But I think as an adult, I think I question that every day. Like, when do I stop pushing? Am I wrong to keep pushing? This doesn't feel good to keep pushing. Where am I in the movie of my life? What part? Am I in the beginning? Am I in the middle? Am I in the part right before I get over that hump? Or am I in the end? Like, or is this the end of a boring movie that didn't actually like really mean anything or do anything or have a real plot? You know, I think my feelings decide what part of the movie I'm in every day, and it's hard because I'm not watching it, I'm living it. You know. I don't know. I kind of came up with that on the fly, but I'm going to kind of think about that the rest of the day. It's like, what part of the movie am I in my story, in my journey, you know? Okay, well, I got to go put the kids to bed, get back to being a dad, and put a smile on and be happy. I'm not that I'm not happy. It's just, I think it's hard to know how, like, where you're going every single day, every single moment, every day. I think not knowing is part of life, and it's hard to get over that hump a lot of the days, you know, of feeling like it's going to be okay. Like, I really don't know how I'm going to build this app for our property company. I have no idea right now. I've spent probably like 5 hours learning ways of how to do it, and I'm sure that's like a super small drop in the bucket, and I need to remember that. But I guess I thought I'd have some idea after 5 hours of research, and I really don't have any idea yet. And maybe that's because it's going to be this great thing and it's going to be so different than everyone else's. But the fact that I can't really find any really good tutorials out there in 2023 is kind of scary. And I don't know if I'm falling into a black tar where all the dinosaurs die kind of problem, you know, where we all keep kind of falling into that same hole, or if it's a great idea. That's the hardest part is, and Google that. There's a whole thing about black tar problems where you like so many people think they can solve it because it's so apparently a problem, and then they all die because they all keep falling into this black tar pit that looks like a perfect drinking water spot, you know. And that's something I'm struggling with today. It's not an am I good enough problem. It's a, is this problem, can I solve this problem? Is this a real problem that can be solved? Or actually, I think the thing I'm worried about, if I'm being honest, isn't if I can solve it, is if I do I have the courage to keep pushing to solve it? You know, do I have enough grit and determination to figure this out? Because it's really easy to quit, especially right now. I throw my hands up and say, I don't know. I'll never know. I need to go hire somebody to do it for me. And it might be the right idea at some point, but I don't think 5 hours is the time. I think like 40 hours is the time to start thinking about that decision. So, all right. Well, I gotta go. I gotta put the kids to bed. I keep dragging this on. All right. I'll see you tomorrow for day 10. See ya.